Hey everybody, this is Brian Gray from BrianGray.me, and this video is called So You Think You Can't Split Test. And the reason why I'm putting this video together is to help you with your split testing when you're advertising your product or service on Facebook or YouTube or Google or whatever platform you're using to advertise. And you need to split test your ads because you don't want to just go on the first ad that you put out there. Obviously, if you've done any marketing in the past and you've read some marketing techniques, you know that it's very important to split test your marketing to try to find the ad that is going to generate the highest outcome that you're looking for, whether that outcome is high click-through rates or high opt-ins into your newsletter or high conversions from your website, your e-commerce website. Whatever outcome you're looking for, you should really tie back that outcome back to the advertisement that produced that outcome. And in order to do that, you need to sort of have an idea as to how you're going to split test things and what you're going to change up in your advertising. And the problem I've had in the past is what elements in my ads do I change? And I'm going to show you this really cool infographic in a minute. Because after you watch this video, you're not gonna ever run out of ideas on how to split test your advertising. So let's go ahead and take a look at that infographic right now. So this is an infographic that I found in my my resources, and I think maybe at the bottom of this I can give credit to whoever designed this, because I just think it's a great resource. So anyways, let's just go through this real quick. Split testing ideas. Don't laugh until you've tried them. So the first thing that you want to do is you might want to test different graphics here for a professional look versus unprofessional, because many times you're going to find that the unprofessional look is going to convert higher. The second one here is the difference between using an actual picture versus using an illustration. And as you see here, it's using an actual picture of a photograph of owls, and in this case it's just an illustration of owls. The next one you're going to want to test is different colors. So different color schemes, whether it's a different background or a different font color. This next one, low brightness contrast versus high brightness contrast. You'd be surprised, you never know what's going to help you get that converting ad, and it could just be as simple as going into Photoshop or one of those free image adjusters, and this just changing the contrast on the image, because that might get a boost in your conversions. The next one is putting a border around your ad, the border versus non-border, and maybe even trying to blend. If you have been using a border, try to take the border out and try to blend it with the site that you're advertising on. If you're advertising on Facebook, and you might just want to take out your border or even background and then just have a plain white background so that it's going to blend in with Facebook's background. So you might want to switch out your images and bring it into your image software and put a blur effect on it. And because that's going to, when people are looking at it, that's going to sort of catch their eye. Well, hey, why is this blurry? It just sort of stands out from the crowd because images typically aren't blurry. So your mind is kind of trained to find differences in things, and you might find that that's going to help you get higher conversions. In this case, obviously, I can't show you what they mean by this, but this is an example of a static image versus an animated, and especially now on Facebook, where you can have video ads. This is something that you can definitely try out. You can even go to one of those websites and purchase some animated stock videos. If you go to envato.com, they've got a website under their ownership where you can actually go out and purchase videos to use in your marketing. Here's an example of using something that's ugly versus something that has a little more sex appeal. You just never know what's going to convert for you, so you want to test out different elements here. Here's an example of static versus interactive. In this one, all they really have is just the button here, get 50% off. But in this ad, they sort of mixed up a little bit. And I don't actually think that these radio buttons work, but it just sort of, people are trained that when they see that they should click on something. So that's going to help you get a higher click-through rate. This is an example here of using a professional stock photo versus an amateur photo, especially now with social media, and people are always posting pictures of themselves and selfies. And I think you're going to find that you're going to get a higher conversion. Obviously, you're going to test it, but you may be surprised that you're going to get higher conversions from using an amateur-looking photo. This is an example of just changing up the layout. Here in this example, we've got the headline here, and then we've got the images here, just in kind of a square background, white background. In this example, they've moved it a little bit. They've moved the images up here. They've changed the order, and they've even changed the background image. They put a little swirl here, and then just put the text at a different location in the ad. Here's an example of changing your call to action. One call to action: get your free trial today. The other call to action is click here for instant access. So call to actions are a very popular element to split test. Here's an example of using images only versus using a text only ad. Here's an example of just using the same image, but it's just angled a bit, and you can easily do that in the free image editors out there. For your buttons, you want to try a nice icon looking type of button versus just getting rid of the button and then using a blue underlined text. In this example, there's a border in the image, so you might want to change things up a little bit by putting a drop shadow in the border. In this example, it's a custom ad design. So this is just someone made up this design, and then you can have something like that where it's custom designed, or you can go with what is familiar to people. In this case, it's the Facebook type of user interface. But you got to be careful because many ad networks won't allow you to make it look like something familiar. Here's an example where they just took the image and they just did a mirror image of that. And again, you can use very popular image software packages to do that, or a lot of the free ones will do that for you as well. Here's an example of just changing the font. There's tons of different font websites out there that you can get free fonts from. Just do a Google search on free fonts, and you're going to find thousands, if not millions, of different fonts that you can use for your advertising. Here's something really simple and easy you can do. You can just take your image like that and then just change it around so that it's going to have a circular, or maybe even a triangle, or whatever you think is fit. In this example, they're kind of diving into the psychology of the ad a bit. So in this case, it's a positive psychology type of ad where it says want to fall in love with your spouse again, which is obviously a positive thing, versus a negative spin that you can put on it where you're sort of like catering to the pain that somebody's having, sick of fighting with your spouse. Here's an example where they've just changed a generic ad and they sort of tied it and made it relevant to a specific time period. So in this case, want a girlfriend, you can meet single women here, versus home alone on Friday night, or want a girlfriend for Christmas. So just tie that into maybe an upcoming holiday, or an upcoming time of the year, or an upcoming season, or even an upcoming event like the Super Bowl. You could mention prices and discounts in your ad, regular $20, now 90% off, or you can just leave it a mystery and just have the benefit. And if they want to get the price, they're just going to click on the ad. You can just have your own generic logo, which obviously doesn't have any trust with your audience if you're not a very well-known brand, or you can add trust logos such as a Better Business Bureau, or as seen on these popular networks. So that is it for this video. I've gone through about, I think, 24 different things that you can do to your ads to, spice them up a little bit and hopefully generate some higher click-through rates and ultimately some higher conversions for your business. Thanks. If you have any questions, get a hold of me at BrianGray.me, and we'll talk to you soon.